Welcome back to Nation Drive UK. Today we're going to be taking you on a test route again. We're going to be following signs today. So on this test route, specifically in Southport, signs will be advised to you prior to you moving out of the test centre car park. Only because they won't have a chance to pull you up and advise you of the sign prior to basically the sign happening. So I'm going to get the car started. We're going to be taking you on a full test route today, explaining your do's and don'ts, explaining where your tough bits are, and generally explaining what I'm doing at the same time, okay? If you do like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. It does help me greatly, and it is only one click, okay? It's only a couple of seconds of your time. Thanks very much. Right, off we go. So, clutch down, first gear, bike point. Full checks, watching the learner driver that's reversing. Alright, so, pretty tight road to start off on Park Street. We've got a van coming at us. Took our time around there. We've got someone that's going to be reversing back into Screwfix, I'm going to assume. So I'm just going to stop here, give them plenty of time and space, and then I'm going to move off. Trying to... as we're coming to the end of the road, we're going to turn left. So I'm dropping in a mirror check. I'm looking at this fellow that wants to cross the road here. I'm going to stop and wait for this guy to cross. Just because he looked like he wanted to cross. And generally what you should do is let pedestrians cross if it's safe behind you, which it is. I've already done my checks. I'm now rolling up to the end of the road. There is a red car coming, so I'm just going to hold off and brake. Try and keep it rolling a little bit, even if it's just a tiny bit, so I don't have to start from a standstill essentially. Now, we've moved on to East Bank Street. This is now a 20-mile-an-hour road. It's changed recently. You've got to keep your eyes on the stalks down here. People will cross, people will run out in front of you. As you just seen, people are reversing the car. It's a very, very high level danger spot down this road specifically because it's just so busy. There's a lot of people knocking about, there's a lot of footfall, a lot of foot traffic, a lot of traffic in general. And you see there's a guy waiting to cross here. Just keeping my eye on him, making sure he's not going to run across. And then I'm building my speed up to the 20 mark. We have got a new pedestrian crossing in place here down East Bank Street. So as I'm approaching, I'm just going to squeeze the brakes and put my clutch down and just try and keep it rolling up to the line. I'm still not there yet, so I'm keeping it rolling. I'm keeping my eyes on it. I'm starting to find them just underneath my bike so I can keep it still rolling. Still not near the line yet. And then I'm setting my gas and I'm holding my bike point. Following signs to Preston now, so it's right at the traffic lights. However, there is 2 lanes to turn right here. The easiest lane to turn right here at this point is this central lane here. So as I'm coming behind the bus, I'm just getting past the keep clear road markings. And I'm coming to a nice gentle stop. I'm going to pop my handbrake on. I'm going to keep it in first gear so I'm prepared. In fact, cars are moving. I'll knock it into neutral for a second because these guys on the left are probably going to go first before I go. So I'm just keeping it nice and relaxed. If you get a chance to do this on your driving test, it will help you in case your legs are shaking, you're a little bit nervous. It gives you time to process. Now that left indicator's come on, the left light, I'm going to pop it into first and I'm going to prepare myself because we are going to change very shortly. Just about prepping and planning ahead. We should change in the next couple of seconds. 1, 2, change. Ooh, we got it bang on, look at that. As we're coming into this junction, I'm going into second. I'm just cautious of this van right next to me. So I'm going to swing it nice and wide. I'm watching the car that's reversing out, still reversing out. And I'm checking my mirrors straight away, making sure nobody's there as I move out round the terribly parked vehicle, I might add. Moving back to the left lane straight away, and then I'm slowing down for the red traffic light. I'm going to try and keep it rolling as best I can. I'm now planning ahead here. Okay, so there's people crossing the crossing. I can't move until they've crossed, so I'm just going to wait. Trying to keep it moving. The bus is now moving off, but there's a taxi driver that's parked there, so I'm right in the mirror straight away. Cancelling my signal. And then I'm just backing my speed off now. This car's going forward. as we come to these traffic lights, there's parked cars on the left. I'm in my mirrors, as you see, as I'm coming through. My head's scanning all the time. The reason why I popped a right indicator on, sorry, is that silver car was behind us quite close. So I thought best let them know where I'm going. The man's crossing again. I'm bringing my speed down nice and early because I want to try and keep the car rolling if I can. So, oh look, we've got a brake lights out. So you see that? I've kept the car moving, I've kept the car rolling. I'm staying right here because I can see now down the side there's parked cars still. Lord Street's basically really well known for that, essentially. There's lots and lots of parked cars on the left hand side, so ideally your positioning is over to the right. Now this car's turning right, I'm looking ahead to see if there's any cars stopping them going to make the turn. There isn't, so I'm continuing in this position instead of checking my mirrors and going round the car. I'm still following signs to Preston, so you can see there, it's at the roundabout, we're going ahead, second exit. So, just keeping my eye on the bus, coming up, looking at the pedestrians crossing. I'm down into second on approach, I'm looking now, and I'm just gently moving into the roundabout, sticking to the left hand side of the roundabout. As I get past the first exit, I'm chucking a quick left mirror check, make sure it's safe, and an indicator off, making sure that people know where I'm going. As we're driving down this road, I'm trying to scan my eyes across behind that van. I can't really see anything, so I'm just keeping a bit of a distance so I can actually see what that van's doing, if it's safe. I'm going to drop my speed now. There is a big enough gap for me, however I'm just going to drop my speed down just so I can keep it controlled. That's it. That van's moving, we're moving, and we're off. So anywhere down this road you might have potential for a normal stop. So pull up on the left at a safe place, anywhere with a high curb, not blocking anyone's driveway, not parked across from another parked vehicle, but this road it doesn't really matter, it's quite wide. As I'm coming to these traffic lights, I am going to move myself back to the left-hand lane. I'm going to keep my eyes in my mirrors, make sure no one's encroaching on me or coming up quickly. I know I'm going to have to move out, so I'm just entering into the junction and I'm moving out nice and early, keeping my eye on the silver car behind. Now, down this road you might get an angled start, so you could potentially do it behind that red car just in front of the bus stop, and it might be a bit of an awkward position. You might be able to do it behind this white Mercedes coming up here. Yeah, that's a perfect one for an angled start. So I'm just keeping my distance from the van, looking across at the zebra crossing, making sure no one's there. We are going to take the next road on the left, which is kind of like a straight on here. So as I get to this line now, I'm knocking my signal off and I'm dropping my speed down to 20. Now down this road you could potential for a manoeuvre, so pull up on the right or a parallel park if it fits. Anything could happen down this road for a manoeuvre. We could do an emergency stop down here, anything at all. So you might get your second safety question down here potentially, so show me how you put it towards the window. Now the roundabout we're turning right and we're taking the second exit. Okay, so we're still staying to the right hand side because the directional instruction is to turn right. Okay, so we're inside of the roundabout. As we get past that first exit, just having a quick look down the road to make sure no one's approaching too quickly, and we're knocking that signal off. Staying at 20 miles an hour. You see that I'm still scanning behind me to make sure. Now there's a learner driver over here that looks like they're indicating off. Now I'm not just knocked their indicator off now, so I'm not going to basically cause them to panic, so I'm just going to carry on going. They might be on a driving test. I don't want to start letting them go so they panic and stall. It's the worst thing you can do to a learner driver, is flash them, let them go, and then that basically causes them to panic. So it's following signs to Preston again, so it's to take the next road on the left. So mirror checks are coming in, the indicator's coming in, I'm now squeezing the brakes, starting to look down to the right. I can't really see much, so I'm going to pop it into first, and as it happens there's a car coming. I've got to be careful of this car coming across here, so I am going to find my bite and I'm going to start moving forwards. I'm going to give them a little thank you, and I'm going to carry on my way. Straight to the zebra crossing, looking at the zebra crossing. This guy's edging out, it is my priority, but I am going to carry on going, but just keep an eye on what they're doing. We're now back into a 30 zone, so we're going to bring that speed up to 30. As you can see, I'm still scanning behind me to see what's going on. I'm keeping my distance from the cars in front. There's no point in getting too close to a car in front because, well, just makes you basically have less time to react to certain situations. I want to keep my head on a swivel. I want to be able to react. So we can see now it's quite busy at this point. There's a lot of parked cars on the left. There's cars in front, so I am just keeping a nice gap from the vehicle in front. As I'm moving out around vehicles, you can see me scanning my mirrors quite a lot. I want to make sure it's safe. So I can see brake lights. As soon as they braked, I'm just bringing my speed back to keep the distance between me and the car. It's a small gap again, so I'll just drop the speed down. And I'm coming back into the left lane because we're following the road ahead of the traffic lights. You can see that from the road markings on the floor. Right, so we've now got some temporary roadworks. I'm going to just take my time here. You can see scanning as I'm going round. Didn't want to get too close to the guy that was taking the sign down the back of the van. Obviously, you don't want to scare them. They may be used to it, but still, you don't want to scare people. We're out, and we're back. Still keeping this nice, safe gap. This area does get quite busy at school time. But the school on the left hand side, it does get quite busy. You see this car's indicating now. I was going to go for my gear then, but I've got enough time to carry on moving. Scanning the junctions on the left and right to make sure there's no cars coming out of. Again, down this road you could potentially have a normal stop or an angled start if it was available. I wouldn't imagine they do a manoeuvre down here purely because this road is very, very busy. Fantastic time. So, at the roundabout, I'm going to be following the road ahead, taking the second exit. I'm bringing that speed down now to assess the roundabout. Right, so I'm looking, I'm assessing, I've decided, and I'm acting. You see the car from ahead, you see the wheels straighten up, it was going straight on. We were quite quick into that roundabout as well. So you can assess that as you come up to roundabouts. Look at the cars, look what they're doing, where are the wheels turning? Can we go? On roundabouts, they're all designed to keep traffic flowing. So you want to make sure you're not sitting there and waiting when it's unnecessary, because that's going to go down as hesitation. So we're now moving into a bit of free space here. Just going to have a little look at the cars coming ahead, making sure no one's turning right, keep my eye on the left, making sure there's no one coming out of there. Watching this person turning right here, keeping just covered my brake just in case. Another sign as well, so when you start covering your brake and your clutch when you see hazards, generally that means you're not doing too bad with regards to driving, basically. You're doing alright. I hope this storm doesn't blow my camera off the top of my car, that wouldn't be bad. So at the roundabout, we're going to turn right, follow signs to Preston, take the third exit. You can see the sign there. And I've not got enough space to go around this car, so I'm just going to sit and I'm going to wait. I'm not going to put pressure on anyone. I'm going to put my handbrake on so I can set my gas properly instead of being on my brake. I'm on a little bit of a hill, so I'm setting my gas, I'm controlling my clutch. Right, so now I'm scanning the roundabout. Is it going to be safe? It is. So I'm moving straight in, popped in into second, I'm just tucking round, bringing that left mirror check in, and then edging off the roundabout. Starting to get a little bit blustery. So we're now entering into a 40 mile an hour zone, so I am keeping my eye on the orange car behind. going to increase my speed because this car's from ahead. So they can't overtake. So the best option for me to do would be get to the speed limit and then start keeping my eyes on the vehicle in front, making sure I'm not getting too close. Now, at this point, the examiner may say to you that's going to be the end of the independent driving. I will direct you to normal from now on. With the changes in the driving test where you're meant to be driving on your own for longer, I'm not sure if they would then continue the signs a bit further on. So I'm coming up to a 50, I'm checking my mirrors. You can see this car wants to overtake. It's going into a dual carriageway, so I am going to increase up to 50. The car does want to overtake. Now, at this roundabout, the examiner is going to ask you to turn right and take the fourth exit and come back on your side. It's a dual carriageway, so we will need the right-hand lane to actually turn right here. So it's a mirror check, it's an indicator. I'm then moving myself across because it's safe. There's nothing behind me, there's nothing approaching. I'm doing another quick mirror check, lock my indicator on, and then I'm bringing the speed of the car down with the brake first. As I get closer, my clutch is going down. I'm going to drop it into second for now, just assess the roundabout. Is it clear? Yes. So moving in, I'm hugging the roundabout. Because I'm turning right, I want to be the inside of the roundabout. Going round, this one next is the third exit. So as I get past it, I'm going to pop a left mirror check in and a left indicator, and then I'm going to merge back to the left. And then I'm going to check my mirrors and increase my speed. White car waiting to turn out. Where is it going to turn? It's going straight across. So the car's going to be passed by the time I get there, so I am going to bring my speed up to 50. Now it is going from 2 lanes to 1, so as you get to this point, you're going to want to start checking your mirrors, making sure nobody's actually getting to the point of encroaching on you as you get to the one-way. We've got a 40-mile-an-hour speed time coming up, big yellow, big red circle. I'm going to bring it down to 40 prior to getting to the side. I'm going to drop it down into 4th as well. I'm just going to relax. These are the times on your tests where you've got a bit of time just to go, whoo! There's not a lot going on, there's not a lot in front of me. All you've got to do is just keep your eyes peeled for anything that's out of the ordinary. What are people going to do? Is there anything that you think could potentially happen at this point? At the moment, no, so we're just chilling, we're taking a deep breath, we're relaxing. We know that we're on a driving test. It's pretty obvious. You've got someone sat next to you that you don't know. So we're down into a 30, we've got a build up of traffic. At this point now, bringing my speed down, I'm dropping it into second, and I'm just going to release my clutch and let the car roll, trying not to get too close to this vehicle in front. Try and keep the car rolling if we can. Not going to be able to keep it rolling in second, so my clutch has gone down. I've released my brake and I'm setting the gas just gently and controlling that clutch. There is a keep clear here, so I need to make sure I can get past the keep clear before I stop, which I cannot. So I'm stopping here, or I'm letting it roll if I can, which I can let it roll. Is there anyone turning right? No, so we're going to continue. At the roundabout, we're heading towards Marine Drive, so they could keep that signage up. So, as I'm moving in, I'm taking up a right position, it's right third exit. I'm looking on the roundabout, where's that Mazda going? Just dip my clutch slightly there in case they came around. It's a new 40-mile-an-hour speed sign down here, but I am going to increase up to 40. So there's nothing behind me too close, nothing wanting to overtake. And I've popped my cruise control, which means I can relax. I'm keeping an eye on the white car here, just in case they decide to pull out. The red van as well, covering the brake and clutch just in case. There we go. We're free, we're easy, we're moving. Now on the coast road is another section here where you can just take a little bit of time for a breather. all you're doing is focusing on your road position, making sure you're not tucking in too tight to the left or tucking out too far to the right. And essentially we're just keeping an eye on anything that could change. We have just gone through a 50 sign, so I am going to increase my speed up to 50. I'm going to go into 50. Again, making sure there's nothing too close behind you. It's going to cause you a problem when you're increasing the speed, like the white car potentially, but they're holding well back, giving me plenty of space and time. It's not a great day in Southport today. It's a bit rainy, it's a bit muggy, it's a bit horrible, but you know what? At least you're alive, hey? At least you are alive. You've got good energy. I've been in the gym this morning, I feel good. So, coming down this road, again, it's dead clear. You can take the time to take a breather. Your examiner may talk to you at this point. They may ask you questions. So they may ask you, what you've been doing today, or what would you normally be doing, or, the weather's a bit horrible, isn't it? They've got the same questions that they ask you, by the way. You might get the odd one that delves into a little bit of other questioning, but generally they all stick to the same. We're trained that way. So now we're coming up to a section here. Sometimes it's going to be dead busy, sometimes it's going to be really quiet. There is a pedestrian crossing here, so I'm just going to cover the brake and clutch just in case anyone's there. They aren't there, but there is a lot of cars that turn right. I've just dropped my speed slightly just in case, and then I'm going to bring it back up to 50 again. See in my peripheral vision the white car's still there, however it has dropped back quite a bit. It's given us loads, we must think of an actual word. It's given us loads of space. So as we can see in front, there is just a little bit of a build up of traffic incoming. I'm just keeping an eye on what's happening in front. Junction coming up on the left hand side, you can tell by the signs. I'm going to drop my speed now, so I'm getting a bit closer to this traffic, and also there's a 30-mile-an-hour speed sign coming up, so I'm just going to continue gently braking up to that 30-mile-an-hour speed sign, dropping it down. I'm at the 30 mark now, and I'm going to set my cruise control to 30. Again, guys, if you do like these videos, please like, comment and subscribe. It does help me greatly, like I say, and it only takes one click. I've got a lot of YouTube videos coming out in the near future. I know I said this last time, but I am. I had a lot of personal issues to deal with last year. I was in a really bad headspace with regards to my mental health. So I am back to it now, and yeah, I feel good. At this roundabout, we're going to turn left and take the first exit. So did my mirror check. Now dropping my brake in just to bring the speed down, and I'm going to drop it into third for this one. I can see now quite far down the road. There's not a lot of cars that's coming towards me, so I'm going to just move straight in third. I'm going to keep my accuracy. Like so. And building back up to 30. Now, this is a junction here at the end of this that a lot of people get confused with. Because it's so wide, we're turning right basically at the end of this road. So, I'm popping on a mirror check, popping an indicator on, and now a lot of people try and go to the wrong side of the road here, but that blue sign is telling me that I must stay to the left. It's a very wide road. I'm looking, it's not going to be safe. I'm down into first, getting a good position prior to moving through the junction. Now I can see after this Hyundai it's clear. I've got enough time before the van gets to me, and they're turning left anyway. As I enter the new road, just popping on a mirror check just to make sure. Making sure that no one is encroaching on my space or it's going to cause anyone an issue if I increase my speed. Yeah, so very like odd junction that, because it's so wide, people do get confused with it. They tend to drop onto the right side of the road, or for some reason they stick well left and try and turn right. Obviously both are incorrect. At this next roundabout, we're going to follow the road ahead and take the second exit. So as we approach, I'm going to start gently braking before the turn, and I'm going to get it down into second before I start the turn. It's quite a tight roundabout, you see. If you don't approach with caution, there's a chance you could get it wrong. So, done all my checks, and now down into a 20 zone. Keeping my eyes peeled on the left and right of these junctions, making sure if there's anyone coming out that I can see what they're doing and they're not going to pull out in front of me. It's always best to stay vigilant. We've obviously got the wagon parked here. Just keep an eye on that Corsa there. Do you see it? And then the pedestrian crossing. I'm turning right on this next roundabout and taking the third exit. So as I approach, I'm sticking to the right. I'm looking early. Is it safe? Yes, it is. I'm moving into the roundabout, sticking to the inside. As we come round, get past the second exit, it's a left mirror check and a left indicator, and I'm going to merge back into this. Now, back onto Lord Street again. Similar situation to last time. There's a lot of parked cars on the left. This time though, down Lord Street, there's a lot of like extras on this side. There's a couple of bus lanes that you've got to be very, very aware of. If you cross through a bus lane, they're in operation 24 hours a day. So there is no cameras on it. And if you look at the blue sign coming up, it shows you that buses, taxis and bikes can only be in that lane, and there is no time on it. So essentially what that means is the bus lane is in operation 24 hours a day. So even if you get a test early doors in the morning, you'll still fail your test if you go in a bus lane here. You see the solid white line here? Now obviously if you wanted to turn left at the traffic lights, you'd have to wait for the solid white line to end before you go in. So essentially where that Volvo sat right now in front, that bus lane there only finishes basically where the arrow points in. So when it gets to the dotted white lines, it's the point you can go in and not before. And you see on this left side, we've got a big bus coming in the left side. So if you wanted to turn left, you'd have to wait until you get past the solid white line. Now, obviously with there being no cameras on these, a lot of people take the mick and they do end up being in that bus lane very, very early, as we might find out when I'm turning left up in a minute. Just controlling the gas and the clutch. I have got a video on clutch control already out there, so if you wanted to go and watch that, I'll drop the card at the top now so you can go and watch it. Now we are going to take, I'm going to just back my speed off a little bit just in case it changes. I'm just keeping my eyes on what's going on. I'm turning left at the traffic lights. So as soon as I get past that pedestrian crossing, I'm looking in my mirrors and indicating left. I'm waiting for the bus lane to end before I move into the left lane. Popping my left indicator back on, being cautious about the traffic lights by covering my brake and clutch, watching the pedestrians. People just run across everywhere, they don't care. So, as we're driving down East Bank Street, again, keeping our eyes absolutely peeled. This is not a pedestrian crossing, by the way. I've not stopped on a pedestrian crossing. Well, he thought it was a pedestrian crossing, clearly. This is the pedestrian crossing. I don't understand why they've done this down East Bank Street, because it's confusing a lot of people. So people are just stood crossing there. It's not a pedestrian crossing. And people literally try and cross there. People are stopping for them. Now I understand, like, I get it. However, it's confusing a lot of car drivers and also a lot of pedestrians as well. So got to be very careful where you position. Where you position, like the paving stones, because it looks like a pedestrian crossing when it isn't. We're going to take the next road on the right. So I'm just watching the traffic warden, looking at the bus coming from ahead, taking my time around the corner. Looking farther down the road to see. I'm going to try and find somewhere to park. So, it's a little, there was a little gap in here. Oh, man, I'm going to pop the indicator on. A tiny little gap here where I can park. It's not on any white lines. So, that's the end of the test route. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I'll see you all next time.